If our mind becomes empty, we can fill it with thoughts that can calm our restless mind. We can effectively control the flood of thoughts that constantly runs in our minds. And my friends, once the chatter of the mind stops, we can do whatever we want with our minds. If you believe in Mahatma Buddha, then listen attentively to these divine teachings. Watch this video till the end, or else you will regret it later. Invest your valuable time here instead of wasting it on meaningless short videos, and you will learn something new. There was a young man in a city. His name was Vikas. He had a problem, and his problem was that his mind was always wandering. Negative thoughts were always running in his mind. The restlessness of his mind never subsided. Whenever he thought about something, he would do something else entirely. Sometimes he regretted not doing a certain task at a specific time in the past. He wished he had done that work differently at that time, or he would constantly think about his future and fear what would happen if something went wrong in the future. What would happen if I failed, he thought. If I made a mistake, people would start making fun of me. His mind was constantly filled with such negative and failure-filled thoughts. Vikas was always lost in his thoughts. He wanted to liberate himself from his thoughts. Vikas wanted no unnecessary thoughts to enter his mind, but the flood of thoughts kept rising in his mind. That's why he was very disturbed in life. Then one day, someone told him that there is a Buddhist monk living in the nearby forest. Go to him, and he will surely solve your mental problem. Hearing this, Vikas immediately went to the Buddhist monk and told him all his problems. The Buddhist monk also listened carefully to Vikas's words and asked him what he wanted to know from him. Upon hearing this, Vikas said, "O revered Guru, I want to calm and empty my mind. I want to know how to empty and calm the mind. My mind is always filled with thoughts. I cannot focus on one thing, which causes problems in all my tasks. When I start doing one thing due to negative thoughts, I end up doing something else. My mind doesn't stay in one place, and every day, thousands of thoughts keep running through my mind, and I don't know when and why it happens. After a long time, I realized what I was planning to do and what I am doing. Guruji, I want to empty my mind of thoughts. I want no thoughts to enter my mind. Whenever I try, thoughts come into my mind." Then the Buddhist monk said, "The solution to any problem can only be found when we reach the root of the problem. We understand the problem well and know it." The Buddhist monk continued, "The mind you want to empty. Have you ever tried to understand and know that mind?" Upon hearing this, Vikas said, "Maharaj, I have made a lot of effort to understand my mind. But the more I know about it, the more mysterious it becomes." Then the Buddhist monk gave the young man a pot and said, "Go and fill this pot with small pebbles." So the young man went there, filled the pot with small pebbles, and placed it near the Buddhist monk. Then the Buddhist monk said to the young man, "Consider this pot as your mind and understand the pebbles in it as your thoughts. Now put more pebbles in this pot." The young man began to put more pebbles in the pot because the pot was already full. After putting one or two pebbles, the rest of the pebbles started falling down. Then the Buddhist monk said, "Wait and observe carefully. Now pebbles are not going into the pot. Instead, they are falling down because this is a pot. Whatever could come in has come. Now more pebbles will not enter it. If you want to put in more pebbles, you will have to remove the ones that are already there." Hearing this at that moment, he said, "Guruji, I understood what you want to tell me. We should empty our mind of thoughts." Upon hearing Vikas's words, the Buddhist monks smiled and said, "First listen to my entire talk, and then empty the mind." Then the Buddhist monk said to the young man that our mind is completely the opposite of a pot because you can fill the pot with pebbles, but you cannot fill the mind with thoughts because the mind always remains empty. Upon hearing this, the young man said, "Guruji, I don't understand your teachings. If the mind remains empty, why do we want to empty it? What is the need to empty the mind?" Then the Buddhist monk said to him, "Take out one stone from this pot one by one." Vikas did the same. He kept taking out all the stones from the pot one by one, and by doing so, eventually the pot became empty. Then the Buddhist monk said to the young man, "Did you see, when you took out the stones one by one, the pot became empty? Now you can put any stone in this pot. You can put in other stones, or you can put back the same stones. You can fill it half, or you can fill it completely. Then the young man said, Gurudev, I am also saying the same thing. I need to empty my mind. This is just a stone that can be easily removed and the pot can be emptied. But Gurudev, how do I empty my mind? Then the Buddhist monk said, put one stone in this pot and take out 2 stones. Upon hearing this, the young man said, Gurudev, how is that possible? When there is 1 stone in this pot, only 1 stone will come out. How can 2 come out? Then the Buddhist monk said, it is not possible like that. So do this. Put 2 stones in this pot and take out 4. Vikas said, Maharaj, how is that possible? It's not some magical art that if you put 1, 2 will come out. If you put 2, 4 will come out. Upon hearing this, the Buddhist monk said, this pot is not magical, but your mind is magical. If you take out 1 thought from it, 2 thoughts come with it. And when you grasp those 2 thoughts, 4 thoughts come with them. And by doing this, a long chain of thoughts is formed, and then you don't stop anywhere. You keep grasping 1 thought after another, or the pot of clay will be filled with stones, but your mind never fills up. It is always empty, but it doesn't empty itself. This is the illusion of the mind, that it is everything, yet it is nothing. Then the young man said, Gurudev, I understand what you're saying, but will I always remain trapped in the web of my thoughts? Is there no way to escape from this illusion of the mind? Then the Buddhist monk said, fill half of these stones in the pot of clay, and the young man did the same. Then the Buddhist monk said, now choose 1 stone from these stones, and make a small idol out of it and give it to me. I know that you are a skilled artist. Vikas took out a stone and started carving it in front of the Buddhist monk. While carving the stone, he felt that it was not good enough. Then he took out another stone from a pit, but he didn't like that stone either. He then took out a 3rd stone, but he didn't like its color. Continuing in this way, the young man removed all the stones. The Buddhist monk was observing him carefully. Then the Buddhist monk said to him, search for the 1st stone that you took out, understanding that after this, you have no other stone, and this is the only stone you have. At that moment, following the instructions of the Guru, the young man began searching for that specific stone. He crafted a beautiful statue from that stone and presented it to the Buddhist monks. He said to the Buddhist monk, Guru, this stone could create such a beautiful statue. I couldn't even imagine it. Hearing the words of the young man, the Buddhist monk said, when you have no other option, we invest all our energy in that option. We make it the best, and when we have many options, we neither choose nor create a statue. Our mind gets entangled in thousands of unnecessary thoughts, leaving behind the main thought. Then the young man asked, Guru, I understood your words very well, but what should I do now? Please guide me. The Buddhist monk said to the young man, emptying the mind and keeping it away from negative thoughts is not a 2-day job. Is it acceptable to go through such a long process? The young man said, yes, Guru, I am ready, no matter how long the process may be. Then the Buddhist monk said to the young man, there are 6 ways to keep the mind free from negative thoughts. Let's understand them one by one. The first way is to leave the company of those who make you feel weak and aimless. Often we are surrounded by people who are above us in position and wealth. And in the arrogance of that position and wealth, they do not understand anything about those below them. That is why we should not stay with such people. And such people always make those beneath them feel small. They make the smaller ones believe that they cannot achieve anything significant in their lives. Apart from that, many times our friends and family members at home are also like this, who often make us feel small. They try to belittle us. They make fun of us in front of people, so stay as far away from such people as possible. These people are such that they diminish your self-esteem from your eyes, make you aimless, and then you start doubting your own abilities. Negative feelings about yourself arise within you, and these negative thoughts lead you towards mental stress and worry. Then the Buddhist monks suggest another way, saying that you should make very few and selective people your friends. Make friends with those people from whom you can learn something, whose respect you can earn. Those who understand your emotions, whose thinking aligns with yours, who help you progress in life. After our parents, our friends contribute the most to our lives and character. That's why having good friends is also very important. It is also said that you are the reflection of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If the 5 people around you, with whom you spend the most time, are honest, then you will gradually become honest too. And if those 5 people are wealthy, then you will gradually start becoming wealthy too. In other words, you become like the kind of people you spend your time with. A great philosopher once said, "Introduce me to any person's friends and I will tell you their future." Our biggest problem is that we cannot say no to people. We don't even like to be with certain people. Even though we don't want to, we have to spend time with those negative people. That's why the first thing we need to learn in our lives is to not let those people in our lives who we feel are ruining our lives. If they are not in our lives, then maybe we will be happier. Buddhist monks further say that the third way is that you can never change your past, but you can definitely change your future. That's why you should fully focus on the things, the tasks that are in your control, that you can do today, right now. The Buddhist monk says, "Remember one thing always, only by living in the present can you shape the future. Living in the past, therefore, cultivate the habit of living in the present." The fourth way is to eat healthy and nutritious food. Our body runs on energy, and the energy we receive depends on the kind of food we eat. If our body is not healthy, how can our mind be healthy? When the body is weak and sick, negative thoughts arise in the mind, and a healthy mind resides in a healthy body. Therefore, it is our responsibility to keep our body healthy and strong. Buddhist monks say that the fifth way is to meditate daily. The most suitable time for meditation is either in the morning or before sleeping at night. But if you want to go deep into meditation, then the best time is during the night. Meditating before sleep improves the quality of sleep and brings deep rest. For meditation, you can focus on your breath or concentrate on the thoughts that arise in your mind. Focusing on the thoughts that arise in the mind provides more benefits to meditators because it allows for a deep immersion in meditation. If you cannot meditate, then spend time alone with yourself every day. Understand your behavior. Try to observe the thoughts arising in your mind and why they arise. Buddhist monks further explain that the sixth way is to explore new places because there is an old saying that a long journey gives you knowledge equal to 100 books. Gautam Buddha, during his lifetime, traveled continuously for 9 months. The reason for his travels was not only the acquisition of knowledge, but also to bring freshness to the mind. Our mind remains enthusiastic when we travel to new places. Then the Buddhist monks say, "Do not get trapped in the web of the mind. Do not try to empty the mind. Learn to meditate in life. Focus your attention. Bring concentration to your mind and whatever you are doing in life. Do it with full effort, considering it as the final understanding. Do the work in such a way that after that, you don't have to do anything else. And when you move on to another thought, focus only on that thought." It is not easy to escape from the web of the mind, but through meditation, everything can be achieved.